In this week's episode, we bring you the Limpopo Youth Orchestra on their tour in the Republic of Ireland. An inspiring story of rural children who picked up a musical instrument for the first time a few years ago, who now make South Africa proud. It's amazing to see what happens when a child who is used to the predictability of life in a rural village like this one gets a chance to travel overseas. The Limpopo Youth Orchestra took its members, some who come from Mojaji's to the Republic of Ireland. For the first time, the poverty-stricken children got to experience a completely different world. This is Mojaji's a rural village an hour away from Polokwane in Limpopo. Rebecca Mushobane lives here with her unemployed parents and younger brother. And this is how they spend most of their afternoons, knitting and selling clothes.
If batho ga ba di reke, then re tlhoka tšhelete ya go reka bupi, diaparo tša sekolo.
Rebecca's troubles at home reflect the community's main problem.
Their parents are not educated. I can say 70% of their parents cannot read and write.
Some parents, school principal Johanna Khomu tells us, allow their children to marry older men to escape poverty.
There are many children who are staying with older men. And you will find that those children, they are 12, 13, 12, even 11.
In 2004, a former music teacher came to Limpopo. She'd been looking for children to join her newly formed orchestra.
I was appalled to see the extreme poverty in the rural areas. You know, where young people are exposed, they are bored. There's no activities in the rural areas. There's nothing that gives most of the youth hope.
Simone Aronje had been on a self-discovery journey of her own, following 2 failed marriages in Cape Town and Johannesburg. She had taken selfless decisions, like selling her only car to fund her orchestra. Her arrival in Mojaji's brought new possibilities for children like Rebecca, who were touching a music instrument for the very first time.
Because I rata music. I used to listen to music like this orchestra. I used to listen it, so the time Gigena, I was so very happy.
Following a lengthy financial struggle, Simone's vision attracted a major sponsor.
When I met Simone, it was when she was crying that she has formed the Limpopo Youth Orchestra. She goes to the rural areas, less and underprivileged homes. That's when I said, this woman seems to be knowing what she's doing.
The orchestra could now offer its 160 members much more than music.
We also wanted to make sure that our kids, that if you're a member of the orchestra, that you would succeed, you would be successful. So on a Saturday, we hire maths and science teachers who come onto the premises.
The kids also received crucial things like monthly groceries, school fees, books, and uniforms. And in March 2013, the Limpopo Youth Orchestra released its first music CD, collaborating with the best in the music industry. As they began traveling extensively, their performance impressed influential people.
I said, you know, it might be good to expose these young people to some different experience so that they can really see that it is possible to achieve and be able to maximize their potential even outside the borders of South Africa.
The orchestra received a formal invitation to tour the Republic of Ireland. And their sponsor covered all the expenses.
They met the requirements. We are so delighted because they are representing South Africa.
The good news meant that Rebecca Moshobane could start preparing to wave Mojaji's Kloof goodbye.
Ke bile le toro ya re nka ya overseas, but next sa tseba gore nka ba kaya. Ke kwela ke thabile kudu.
Being part of the Limpopo Youth Orchestra opened a world of possibilities for Rebecca and her friends. Now they have a chance to live a life their parents could only dream of. After the break, from a little-known village to Dublin, we follow the Limpopo Youth Orchestra as they make South Africa proud overseas. Coming to you from Dublin in the Republic of Ireland, welcome back. Simone Aronje traveled a long and hard journey as she tried to create opportunities for the destitute children of Limpopo. But no matter how tough things were, she kept on going. Today, many of the youngsters have access to quality education and get to share their talents with the world. We decided to accompany the Limpopo Youth Orchestra on their tour here in Europe. The 3rd of December 2013, a day that saw dreams coming true. Most of the kids were setting foot at an airport for the very first time.
Letšatši la mathomo ga ke kena ka mogara ga plane, be ke thabile kudu, like ne ke no e bona mo TV, but e seng ka live.
"12 hours in the air and a quick stop in Germany." A day after leaving Joburg, we touched down in Dublin, Ireland.
The time ke le kwa, I was so excited, like monagano wa ka go thabile kudu gore e ba ile ntho nngwe e botse kudu because e kile ya tla mo ditorong tša ka, so ke ile ka nagana gore ditoro tša ka di ba nnete.
It was a whole new world with memorable experiences. The orchestra's first few performances in Dublin were more like rehearsals. They played in front of a congregation at Christ Church before giving shoppers at Powerscourt Centre a taste of South African music.
Ke ke ithutile dilo tse ngata like phelo ba kwa le weather ya gona kore ke kwa ka re nka ya tšatši le lengwe and le go bereka kwa ke duma go bereka kwa.
Later in the week, learners at Kyle Moore College awaited the arrival of a group from Africa they'd heard about. And when the Limpopo kids picked up their instruments, they didn't disappoint. The visit was about cultural exchange and learning. And there was enough time to teach the Irish the song every South African is proud of.
It was really complicated to pronounce the words, but it was lovely. The music was nice. I actually talked to a couple of them and so what I've heard today, it sounds like a lovely community of people.
I'd love to go to South Africa one day. I play the violin and I sing a bit. Just learn that you can have different varieties and that I can mix them together and that it always sounds lovely.
On the last day, the orchestra paid tribute to former President Nelson Mandela. The performance was spectacular and South Africa was well represented.
You know, somebody was saying I cried, and it's true. I was looking at these young people who came from Norway, and they were just out of this world.
The children returned to South Africa with renewed hope and enthusiasm.
So their vision has changed. You know, the whole outlook on life has changed. Where I'm not going to be a victim of an older man that wants to marry me. I'm not going to be a victim of my circumstances. There is a world out there. So I basically just want to show them, like, you know, that the whole world doesn't revolve around the village where they stay in. There are so many more opportunities out there.
The youngsters know they won't be in their villages for long. Simone has now set up a bursary fund for those who'll be completing their high school studies so that they can move on to universities.
Nka batla gore ke ishe batswadi ba ka sekolong a bet ka gore mama ka o tlogetse sekolo ka standard 5 ka gore batswadi ba ga ene ba sena tšhelete ya mo patelela school fees. And then papa kena o le sitše ka standard 7 le nna ke tla rata gore a rutege o tshwana le nna.
Fantastic. Well, from Dublin in the Republic of Ireland, it's goodbye for now. Join us again next time as we explore the lives of those who dare to dream. The people who are committed to making South Africa a country of possibilities. My name is Mphola Gaje. Cheers.